We're going to take our practice a little slow today.
Okay.
And we're going to do that by starting seated. And whenever it feels good for the both of you, you just come to your rested seated position with maybe your head gazing down or your eyes closed. Head down a little bit. I just want you to soften into your face. Acknowledge where you are in this moment. You are right here. You're in the comfort of your home. You're surrounded by love. You are supported by the earth beneath you. And you are protected by the walls around you. Know that this is a safe space for you and your family. Just acknowledging everything that has occurred in the day and then letting it go. It's already happened. It no longer is with us as we move into the next moments of our day. We dive into our practice, mindfulness and movement. So as you're settling into your space, just noticing all the points of contact that you're making with the mat, your sit bones, maybe the sides of your thighs and your legs, sides of your feet. Notice any tension that's running through your body in any areas of your back. Notice if your shoulders want to hunch forward or if you pull them back. Notice how it feels to breathe into your lungs and expand your chest. Notice how it feels to breathe into your belly. Creating some space in your torso. I think you can send your breath right there, allowing your belly to press forward and come back with your breath. Maybe all while noticing just how your breath sounds as it comes through your nose and in and out. Again, your face is soft and your jaw is unclenched. Your eyes are soft. Forehead is soft. Your palms resting in your lap are soft. And continue to breathe in and out of your nose. Now breathing into your chest, just transferring your breath from your belly. A nice large breath into your chest. And notice how it feels. Maybe one feels better than the other. And when you're ready, you can create that natural breath for yourself. Wherever your breath goes, no judgments, no expectations on what it's supposed to look like. It's just simply what your body is asking for. And you have the capacity to give it. We'll stay here just to connect here in the stillness for about 1 more minute. During that minute, option here to come up with an intention or a mantra or an affirmation for your practice. Just an option. We're going to start to slightly move our bodies just by swaying side to side. So palms can stay resting on your lap and your eyes can stay closed. And all you're doing is just pressing your shoulders over to one side or the other. Maybe you feel a little rocking on your sit bones from your right to your left. Be a small movement. We're just going side to side. Just noticing what you feel in maybe your rib cage or on each side. Shoulders are still relaxed down your back. And then we're going to take some circles with our whole body. Whichever side that you land on, let's start to lean towards one knee and then sending your chest forward, and then leaning towards the other knee, and then pulling back a little bit, leaning back towards your tailbone, and then we'll keep going. So just kind of moving with your breath here. Maybe an exhale as you're coming forward. An inhale as you're coming back because you've created that space in your belly. So here I want you to notice just this connection that you're making with the mat, and then any stretch of the hip or the pelvis that you feel here. Kind of a slow movement. Doesn't have to look like anything in particular. And when you're ready, let's pause wherever you are, and we're just going to take it the other way. Same thing, we're sending our awareness to any place that feels a sensation, and that can even be the sensation of what you feel on your palms, just by resting your palms. Maybe it's your foot or your calf. Maybe you're not just sending your awareness to your hip or wherever feels the stretch. We're going in the opposite direction, maybe moving with your breath. Do about 2 more, so it's kind of just natural at this point. And then we can pause. Pause right where you are, sitting up tall. Drop your chin down to your chest. Roll your right ear to your right shoulder. Drop your shoulders down, maybe palms in your lap. Chin back to your chest. And then left ear, left shoulder. And chin back to your chest. This time taking your palms, you can interlace them if you like. Plant your palms right behind your head, right where your head, bottom of your head meets your neck. See if you can kind of press into that space and maybe pull your head away from your neck with your chin still down. Your elbows still open, you're still sitting up tall, so we're not pulling down on the neck, we're not straining on the neck, trying to pull down. We're simply letting your chin be down, and you're pulling your palms towards your head. You're pulling them in the direction that your head, the top of your head is facing, so looking for a little lengthening rather than a big deep stretch. If it feels good to you, you can drop your head down even more. Now creating maybe that stretch in the middle of your shoulder blades or down your back. And with your next breath in, let's lift all the way up, keeping your palms behind your head, sending your gaze up, maybe chest shines up towards the ceiling, still sitting up tall. And then exhale, we'll come back down. And you can pause right where you just feel that stretch in the neck rather than all the way down the back. And pause. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. If you want more, you can always take it down more. I'm just giving you the option to kind of just go halfway today. Last one. Inhale and exhale. And then we'll let it go. You can shake it out. Let's bring the arms overhead. Again, interlace your fingertips or just bring your palms together. And let's lean over to the right, reaching up. We're getting tall on the spine. And then we're reaching over, using our obliques to keep us lifted. Biceps by your ears. Notice how it feels if your elbows are just bent and passive or if they're engaged and pressing up. And then we're rising back up. Breathe in, take it over to the left, pressing up to the ceiling, over to the left. Rising back up, you can release your palms down. Let's walk them forward, walking forward into a fold. Belly comes down, chest comes down, forearms, maybe, forehead, maybe. Coming to a space where you can still feel that your shoulders can be relaxed down your back rather than hunching up towards your ears. We'll breathe here. Still embracing some stillness. 3 more. Rising up, we'll take your whichever foot's forward, let's switch it out. Another posture, seated, we're going to stretch out our shoulders a little bit, sitting up. Let's bring the arms open nice and wide, palms facing forward. And then bringing them forward, you can cross your left arm over your right, bend at your elbows, forearms might come together, maybe palms touch. If your option is a bear hug, you take a bear hug. And we're lifting your elbows up towards your shoulders, so maybe lifting them up so you can see the inside of your elbows. Maybe arms are in front of you, so you can't really see me right now, and that's okay. Just staying right here. When you're ready, let's send your elbows up towards the ceiling, getting a tiny back bend, getting a little lengthening in your belly, and then start to round your spine, drop your elbows in towards your belly. Ooh, let your shoulders just kind of drop to either side. Might feel this more in one than the other. That's okay. We're doing both sides. And drop your head down. And then let's pull ourselves back up. Do it 2 more times. Inhale. And then exhale. Let it hang out here. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Let it hang out here. Maybe sending your palms down towards the floor. You might come into a bit of a fold here. You can let your head drop down. You can breathe into your back like you're trying to pull your shoulder blades away from each other. And then come back up, take a bear hug if you haven't already. And let's shake it out, be gentle with it. Any way that feels good for you. And we'll come into the other side. Opening up your arms wide. And then this time, right arm comes underneath your left. Bend at your elbows. No 2 sides are created equal. If this side needs a bear hug, take it. Maybe even palms crossed, they don't have to. Elbows coming up so you can see the inside of your elbows. Arms in front of your face. Breathe. Notice where you feel the shoulder stretch. And when you're ready, sending your elbows up towards the ceiling. Hold on to your bind and then breathe out. Let's round your spine like a C. Send your elbows into your belly. Kind of let it hang here. Breathe. Two more. Let's come up. Inhale. And exhale. Rounding and let it hang. Last one. Inhale. And then exhale. Rounding. You can stay here. Let your palms come all the way towards the floor. Let your head hang. Imagine your shoulders are just melting to either side. Breathe into your back. Breathe into that space you've created between your shoulder blades. Slowly come on up. Take a bear hug. And then we're just going to wiggle it out. Jellyfish. And then when you're ready, let's come into a tabletop. A little pressure on our palms, not too much. Before we come into our cat-cows, we're just going to do a little tilting up and tucking of your tailbone. So finding that equal weight in your feet and on your palms, rather than incorporating our shoulders and head, it's really just tilting into your tailbone. You might feel like your belly button's coming up, or like your tailbone's trying to pull forward in between your thighs. Maybe some stretching out the lumbar spine at one area. Just keep pressing the earth away. And then you can start to tilt your tailbone up. Our gaze is still down. We're just working on the lower half here. So keeping your low belly hugged in, just like cow. Not focusing on our shoulders too much, just tilting the tailbone all the way up. It's trying to point to the back of the room. And then tilting it downward. So this can be a small or big movement, just kind of moving through that until you find that first sensation of a stretch, not pushing it, and then tilting back in just till you feel that first sensation And again, maybe like 2 more times for each. And then we'll incorporate our shoulders and our head into our full cat-cows. Wherever you are, let's move our way in towards a cow, tilting your tailbone up, send your gaze up, squeeze your shoulder blades together, hello belly hugs in, and then tilting your tailbone down. Let's round the spine, press the earth away, drop your head, and then moving through this fluidly in your own way. Cow and cat. Maybe keeping your awareness just on how your tailbone is tucking and tilting. Moving your awareness up your spine, just noticing what's going on here, how your shoulder blades are opening in your cat, and how your shoulder blades are coming closer together in your cow. Do about 3 more. Moving in your own pace. Last one, wherever you're at. And then coming into just in that neutral tabletop, kind of walking your knees back slightly. Maybe palms pressed forward slightly, a little bit of a wider stance here. We're going to shift over your wrists. Your elbows and your shoulders are coming over your wrists. And then see if here you can begin to drop your hips down. They don't have to come down all the way. You're just looking for a lengthening in your belly. There can even be a bend in your elbows, almost like we're coming into this really high cobra, but we're coming in from this cobra, dropping down rather than lifting up. Once you drop down, we're going to lift back up by engaging your core, squeezing your glutes, pressing up into your tabletop, and then come back towards a child's pose. A nice lengthening in your arms, keeping your palms right where they are, just sending your hips back until you feel that lengthening in your upper back or a stretch in your arms. And when you're ready, we'll breathe to come back forward, start to shift over your wrists, maybe sending your hips down slightly, gripping the mat, shoulders coming down away from your ears, and then we'll lift ourselves back up, back to a child's pose. We'll do one more like that. Inhale to come forward, hinging over your wrists, maybe dropping your hips down slightly, pull your shoulders back, and then pressing yourself up, come all the way back into a child's pose. And then hang out here. You can bring your forehead down, and your big toes can come to touch. Your knees can be wide or your knees can be apart. If your knees are wide, you can sway side to side if that feels good. Start to walk your palms over to the right. And stretch on your left side. Forehead is down. Coming back through center, walk your hands over to the left, keeping your hips down, forehead down. And coming back through center, lift yourself up into your tabletop. Maybe walking your knees in a little bit closer to your neutral tabletop and step your left foot back, press into your heel. Pressing the earth away, low belly hugs in. You can lift your left heel. Stay right here. Flexing your heel, pressing it to the back of the room. Finding your gaze on the floor, maybe reach your right arm forward. And we'll take 5 nice, long, intentional breaths, starting now. 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Take it right into the other side. Press your right foot back. Press into your heel. Notice the weight in your palms, lifting up away from the earth. You can begin to lift your right heel, pressing your heel back to the back of the room. Finding your gaze down on the floor, lift your left arm up, reaching forward, kicking back, one line of energy, and start your 5 breaths now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then release, bring it back, swaying side to side. One more position in tabletop, taking a donkey kick. Step your left foot back, lifting it up nice and long. Bend at your knee, flex your heel towards the ceiling. And we're going to kick our foot up on an inhale, kicking it up until you feel that engagement. And then exhale, lowering it down all the way down to the floor. Let's inhale, kick it right back up. And exhale, bring it down. 3 more, inhale up. Exhale. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Let's hold it right up here. Strengthening our low back, trying to prevent any of those pinched nerves we get from time to time. And then just pulse it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower it all the way down. Let's go right into the right side. Let's just keep moving here, lifting your right leg up, bending your knee, flex your heel up towards the ceiling. And on an inhale, kicking your foot up until you feel that engagement. And exhale, lower it all the way down. Maybe bring it onto your body. Not even touching the floor. Inhale, kick it back up. Exhale, it comes back down. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale and hold it up here. And then we'll pulse 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. You can sit your hips back, come into a child's pose, maybe knees together this time. This time, drop your forehead down. Finding your resting posture here. Breathing in and out of your nose. Always time to reflect here. Maybe just checking in with your inventory, what's going on in your body, in your brain. From here, we're going to move into our half pigeon pose. There's always options here if one feels better than the other. So starting to slide your right knee forward, we're going to slide it forward. And you can slide back onto your left leg. You can keep your right heel right by your hip. You can even start to bring your right heel up towards your mat. Maybe you're the shape of the number 7. However you can feel centered. Right? If you plant your palms next to you, if this doesn't feel accessible to you, maybe you want to bend into your left knee. And you want to plant a block underneath your pelvic floor. It might feel good for you to just come to your back and take a figure 4 stretch. Yogi's choice. You're in the same expression as myself. You're going to sit up, allowing your weight to be centered. Left leg is flat down on the floor. Bringing your shoulder blades back, maybe gazing up. And then from here, you can walk forward into a deeper fold, belly coming towards your calf, maybe arms on the floor, gazes down. If you're laying on your back, that's fine. You can always do that. We're going to drop our heads down because we're not using them. Maybe your belly feels a connection onto your foot. You might even notice that your weight is coming over to the right. That's okay. We're working on this, right? Start pulling your weight and your torso over towards the center of your mat. Then you might feel a pull or a stretch in your hip, maybe low back. Blocks are here for support if you want to rest your chin. Or you can drop your forehead all the way down. Stay here for about a minute. I want you to come right to your breathing. Breathe in and out of your nose. Sending that exhale to the sensations in your body. And allowing yourself permission to be still here, find depth. Know that you're moving through time, even if you're still. Nice long inhale through your nose and out of your nose. Take 5 more seconds, breathing in through your nose and out of your nose. And we'll start to walk ourselves up. You're going to take your left leg, start to bend into it, and then keeping your right knee bent. I'm just going to turn towards the camera. See if you can bring your left leg over your body. So maybe it's bent like this. Maybe you're trying to stack your knees and you're trying to pull your feet so that they're next to your hips. This doesn't always seem accessible for everybody. It's definitely not for me. This is what it looks like for me. You can keep your left foot flat and have your knee up. It's entirely up to you. The intention behind what we'll do now is to sit up tall and then just start to lean forward. Just leaning your chest forward. You might feel like weights coming in toward your knees and your legs. Like you're pressing down. If you can still relax your face and your shoulders. My palms are resting on my feet. You can even walk your palms forward. One more breath. And then slowly we'll come up. You can uncross your legs, shake it out. Let's come down towards our bellies on the mat. Palms underneath your shoulders. Tops of your feet on the mat. With your breath in, let's press up into cobra. Shoulders relax down your back. Chest is pressing forward. Using the strength of your arms. And then exhale, let it go. Come all the way down. You can bring your palms down by your side. Any ear can come to the mat. Let your heels just fall out. We'll take that again. Palms underneath your shoulders. Tops of your feet pressing into the mat like your knees want to lift off the mat. And on an inhale, pressing your chest away from the floor. Hold it here. And when you're ready on an exhale, release. Palms down by your side. Bring your other ear to the mat. Release, let it go. And then chin back to your mat, palms planted underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes. Let's see if you can press yourself onto your knees. And then slowly back, pulling your hips back towards your heels. Come into a child's pose. Forehead down to the mat. Take 3 breaths into your back. And then rising into your tabletop. We're going to take the other side with your half pigeon. So coming into your left side, we'll slide your left knee forward. And your left foot can come out towards the right, slightly sliding back onto your right leg. You can always come onto your back and we would take a figure 4 shape with your left ankle over your right knee, up to you. palms planted by your side. And again, we're shifting our weight to the center. You might feel it over to the left. That's okay. We're just gradually pulling it over towards the center. Might feel better for you if you're sitting on a block so you're lifted. Right? That might not feel better for you. The option is there. Maybe your figure 7 shape with your legs is something that's accessible for you to start centering your weight. That's a breathable stretch. It's a deep hip stretch. So let's sit up tall. Allow your chin to come up, maybe just sending your chin up or your gaze up to the sky. And when you're ready, we'll walk forward. You can find depth in here. You can stay right where you are. If you are finding depth, you're allowing your shoulders to be relaxed. So if they're coming up to your ears, you're pulling them back. You might even just be resting on your blocks as you make your way down to the floor. You're not all the way on the floor, you don't want to be. And then dropping your head down, you're not using it. Come right back to that breath that's nice and long and extended. Draw it out. In through your nose, out of your nose. Be here for a minute. Just checking in. Where does your mind wander? What can you connect to in this present moment that's happening right now? 10 more seconds, so 2 more big breaths in and out. And out, and we'll slowly walk ourselves up. You can keep the bend into your left knee. Let's swing your right leg forward this time. You can cross your right foot over your leg. It doesn't have to cross. It's an option here. You can just take a fold, right? Maybe right foot is coming back towards your left hip, right? Or it's staying up like this, and the intention here to sit up tall. Sit up tall, and then we'll start to just lean forward. So we're just looking for a stretch on the other side. So this again, it can also look like, let's say it's more of like a double fire hydrant, they call it, where we're stacking both knees. Yeah, and breathe. Practice of yoga, not just the postures, but where our mind goes. 2 more breaths. And then release. You can shake it out, shake it out. Maybe legs come in front of you. They can have a nice bend into them. Maybe sway side to side. A little massage of your thighs. Let's come up to your arms overhead. And then hinge at your hips, just reaching forward. We're just reaching. And then palms can come down, forehead towards your knees. Toes pointing up, toes coming together. Dropping your head down. Let's take 5 breaths here and move on. Last one. And we rise up. You can shift your feet over to the side. We'll come into a tabletop. When you're ready, tuck your toes, send your knees and your hips up high. Come into a downward facing dog. And feel free to move it out when you get here. Like pedaling into one leg, bending the other. You can sway your hips side to side. Allow your chest to press back towards your thighs. Nice long spine. You're gripping the mat. You're breathing. And then from here, finding stillness, drop your heels down. Take a breath. Start to lift your right leg high to the sky, toes point down, and then bending your knees, sending your foot all the way forward in between your palms. And then start to shorten your stance. Allow your left foot to come all the way down. So toes are pointing out slightly. Feet are hip width distance apart. And when you're ready, we'll rise up to warrior one. Our hips are pointing forward, chest is forward, palms overhead. Bend into your right knee. Noticing equal weight in your palms or your feet. Palms facing in towards each other. Breathe. And then holding the stance in our legs. Let's swing the arms open wide. Taking those eagle arms that we took before for our shoulders. And then coming forward, bring your right arm underneath your left. The right arm's underneath the left. You can cross at your wrist. That feels good. And then this time, again, pulling your elbows up towards your nose or your shoulders. Keeping that stance, that warrior one stance in your legs, feeling rooted in your feet, but lifting up. Maybe even sending your elbows up like we did before. Sending your gaze up to the ceiling or pressing your elbows up to the ceiling. When you're ready, let's round the elbows in towards your belly, keeping that stance in your legs. And letting your palms just kind of drop down towards your leg. Let them hang here. Let your shoulders just melt to either side of your back. Now one more time. Coming up, using your core to lift you up. Press your elbows up. And exhale, come down. We're going to move into a little balanced posture together today. Let's try this today. Keeping our eagle arms. You can begin to step your left foot forward. Hip width distance apart, sitting down into a chair. Breathe. So here, right arm is underneath your left. Let's move into getting your right leg underneath your left leg. So with a little bounce, you can stay here in your chair, or maybe you come up to your left foot and you work towards crossing your left leg over your right. We sit into a double eagle posture. So maybe you're looking in between your arms, sitting your hips back. Maybe your left foot is like a kickstand on the floor. Maybe it's crossed over. Full weight is in your right leg. You come out, come back in. You can always come to a bear hug if your arms get tired. You're finding one point of focus in our balance. And breathe. One more breath. And then release. You can stand up and just shake it out. Maybe nice and tall. We haven't been tall yet. And then folding down. Let's do that 2 more times. Coming up tall. And then folding down. Last one for our spine. Inhale up. Exhale, fold it down. Come all the way down. Hang out in your fold. Feet can be hip width distance. Head comes down. When you're ready, let's rise up halfway. Nice, strong, flat back. And exhale, fold down. You can plant your palms, step back into your plank, or you can move right into a down dog, your choice. Move into a down dog when you're ready. Melting your heels down. Breathing. Left leg lifts, breathe in. And then exhale, you'll send your foot all the way forward in between your palms. This time, shorten your stance so your right toes point out slightly. So your right foot is all the way down. Feet hip width distance apart, and you can rise into your warrior one when you're ready. Hips pointing forward, chest is forward, shoulders are forward, palms facing one another. Equal weight in your feet. Breathing here. And we'll do the same thing with our arms. It's the other side. So if our right arm came under our left last time, this time open your arms wide. Left arm's going take a bear hug as an option instead. Maybe crossing your palms and then lifting your elbows up in line with your shoulders. Maybe you can see the inside of your elbows. So rooted in your feet and reaching up towards the ceiling, maybe getting a little bit longer in your belly. You can start lifting your elbows up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, drop your elbows down towards your belly. Let them hang out over your left thigh. Or just like in the middle of that space. Down towards the floor. Let's rise on up. Inhale, reaching your elbows up. And exhale, hanging out, coming down. And inhale, we rise up and we'll move into our eagle, legs and arms. So stepping your right foot forward, hip width distance apart. You can sit into your chair first. Now in our chair, our weight is towards our heels. And then from here, planting both feet down on the ground, seeing if we can send our weight into our left leg, crossing our right foot over, our right leg over our left. And your foot can stay down on the ground. This is an exploration. Maybe sitting in your chair when you find it. Maybe it's just a kickstand. Keeping your elbows lifted. Finding one point of focus. If you need a bear hug, take it. Staring at one thing. We are bound. We have control to come free. If you fall out, come back in. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then release. You can come back up to standing, arms overhead. We'll take 3 like this. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. And exhale, come all the way down. Plant your palms, step down onto your knees. Let's make our way onto our bellies. Take it nice and slow. Come all the way down. Bring your arms to a goalpost. Bring your right ear down to the mat and then slide your left knee up. Or hug the earth, 90-degree bend. You can shut your eyes here. Breathe in and out of your nose. Allow your heart rate to come down with an extra long exhale. Or to bring your chin to the mat and let your left leg come long. And then bring your left ear to the mat and slide your right knee up. Hug the earth other side. Close your eyes. When you're ready, chin comes back to the mat, your right leg comes long. You can plant your palms underneath your shoulders. Tap your toes, start to press yourself up to your knees, and then let's send your hips all the way back to your heels. Come into one final child's posture. Let your forehead come down. Knees can be wider together. If your forehead is down on the mat, maybe you rub it side to side. When you're ready, let's rise up. Start to send your weight over to one side, and we're going to make our way down towards our back. You bring a block with you if you choose to take a supported posture. So coming down when you're ready. Down to your back, you can keep your knees bent. Start to extend your left leg long. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. Pulling your knee in towards your chest and then open towards your armpit. And then just swaying it side to side. Just slightly over your chest and then open. Just over and open. Just kind of moving naturally how this feels for you. And then we're going to bring it all the way over for a supine twist. So guiding your right leg over your body all the way to the left. You can put a block underneath your leg. If another twist feels better for you, you can take this. Maybe teeing up both arms. Shut your eyes. Option to send your gaze in towards the right. And to soften in your face. Unclench any tension if it's been created. And start to roll back onto your back. Bring your knees to bend. And then from here, with your knees bent, bring your feet together and your knees together. You can keep your palms on your ribs or on your belly. And you're just going to lean your knees over to the left without them falling all the way to the floor. You're just leaning them over to the left. Maybe you feel a stretch over your right pelvis. Maybe you feel the muscle that runs up through your glute. Noticing what you feel here. We're getting a different stretch. A stretch an area that we don't get to access, but that flares up from time to time. Our sciatic. Let's breathe into this, especially if you feel the sensation. 2 more breaths. Rolling back onto your back, extend your right leg long, and then hug your left knee in towards your chest, towards your armpit, and let's sway it side to side. Just opening and closing each side of your hip joint. And then we'll guide it all the way over, guiding your left leg all the way over to the right, coming into a twist. You can bring a block under your knee if that sufficed on the other side. A little restorative. Tee out your arms so that feels good. You can send your gaze to the left. Let your face be nice and soft. When you're ready, roll back onto your back. Bring both feet down onto the mat, bending your knees, palms on your ribs, your belly. Bring your feet together, knees together. And then from here, dropping your knees over to the right. Not coming all the way down to the floor, you're dropping them down. So you feel the sensation maybe on your left side, over on top of your hip. You might feel it run down your glute. Just noticing here. Just stretching all the muscles around your sit bones and your tailbone, your sacrum. Take about 5 nice long breaths. When you're ready, roll back onto your back. Let your pelvis relax. Maybe a little sway side to side. You can take your block here and come into a supported posture if you're choosing, if that feels right. Maybe just a supported bridge. Maybe legs come up, legs up the wall. Maybe no block at all today, and you're taking your legs up the wall. Yogi's choice. Palms on your belly, on your ribs, or open wide. Shut your eyes and then unclench your jaw. Let your tongue relax in your mouth. Maybe your mouth opens slightly. Still breathing in and out of your nose. Start to let the muscles in your belly relax. Allowing your mind and your body to be at ease, come back to your mantra or affirmation or intention that you set for yourself. And just check in with how you feel. Once you've come back to your intention, you can begin to release the block out from under you. Come all the way down onto your tailbone, relax your pelvis, make your way into your final resting posture. Maybe legs extended long, palms on your belly or palms open wide, palms up or palms down. When you arrive, breathing in through your nose and let it out. Enjoy your final moments of stillness and meditation. Yogis, begin to deepen into your breath. Breathe in through your nose. Let it fill your chest. Let it fill your belly. And then expel it all out of your body. Do that about a few more times. Filling up as much as you can and then letting it all out of your body. Last one. Begin to find some movement. Just wiggle your toes. Just press your palms down into your belly or the floor. Feeling the pressure, the weight that can exist in your palms, the strength of your palms. Start to rock your head side to side. Reach your right arm overhead, reach your left arm overhead. Open and close your palms big and wide. Bring your feet together, point your toes, flex your feet, point and flex. Take some wrist circles, take some ankle circles. And then draw each knee in towards your chest and roll onto your right side. Bicep is your pillow, top arm is your blanket. One big breath to arrive here in this moment. And then allow yourself to come up to a seat when you're ready. One foot in front of the other like we started, sitting up tall. Sitting up tall, let your eyes close or just send your gaze down to the floor. Allow yourself to wake up. We'll take 3 breaths together when you're ready, breathing in through your nose and out of your mouth. Again. Last one. Bring your palms into your heart center. The light in me honors and sees the light in each of you. We bring our thumbs to our third eye center. This is your place of all knowing. Take a breath and send your gaze to the sky above. And we exhale, we bow to seal our practice today.